2014 Forrest Wood Cup, Lake Murray, we decided to run down somebody who's actually won one of these things in the past. I'm standing here in the GoPro boat with Brent Ehrler. And Brent, kind of a strange start to practice here on Lake Murray. Dark and cloudy and cool.
Yeah, it's been like this all day. You know, this morning it was spitting rain for about the first 2 hours, and then it cleared off, and it's just been real hazy like this. It hasn't gotten brighter than this all day, so it's just been kind of a weird day.
In terms of, I've talked to a couple people today. One thing I haven't asked a whole lot about is water level here on Murray. Anything you can give us about the water level, especially in terms of since the last time we were here?
I think well, I don't even know what it was last time we were here. I don't even know what the water level is right now. I think it's been fluctuating a little bit. We've been getting a bunch of rain, but it doesn't really seem to matter. The grass is different this year. You know, last year there was a bunch of gator grass here. Right now I haven't found much of any of it, so there's less shoreline cover than there was last time.
Okay. It looks like it might be up a little bit.
It could be up. You know, I'm guessing with how much rain they've been having, it has to be up a little bit, you know, or how much it is going to come up. I mean, it could come up another foot over the next few days. I really don't know, but I guess it depends on how much water they're letting out at the dam too, on what it's going to do.
I imagine, though, this kind of a kink in the summertime plan, a little bit of one anyway, to have a cloudy day like this. Someone like you really likes to have a kink thrown in the system. I mean, it just, you know, there's going to be some locals in this thing, Casey Ashley and Anthony Gagliardi. When everything's going their way and they got that perfect summertime, they've got that dialed in. This might kind of throw them off a little bit.
Yeah, it could. You know, the last time we were here, you know, I remember Anthony didn't do very well. You know, he really excels at that offshore deal, and most everybody caught him shallow. We had weather like this in the tournament that last time we were here, and I think it kind of threw off those deep fish. But, you know, I think that, you know, Anthony's going to kind of get some revenge this week. I really think that he's going to do well here regardless of the weather. If we have rain, if we have sun, he's going to catch him this time.
It's interesting. We just talked to him a minute ago. He said he prepared. He gave himself a lot more options this time around.
Yeah, I believe it. And, you know, he learned from what happened last time. But I just think that the fishing is strange enough right now that local knowledge is really going to help. I honestly think that it's different fishing, but I think it's enough to, you know, those local guys that have been here, they know kind of exactly what to do. And it may not be great, but it's not great for everybody. But they're going to know how to concentrate their time to you know, maximize their day, whereas the rest of us are kind of floundering around, fishing deep, fishing shallow, one here, one there, and by the end of the day, you know, we're not going to have a limit, and they're going to have 5.
What is it about the big championship event? It's like, I mean, and don't take this as I'm saying y'all don't show up for all events with your A game. There's something about these big limited field, a lot of money on the table, really brings out the best in all you guys. I mean, anything you can say about that from a mental standpoint or anything?
You know, I think that there's a big enough gap, and I think what happens is, you know, the rumors I've heard, there's just been a handful of guys that have been out here for a month practicing, or, you know, 2 weeks. And, you know, with that much money on the line, a guy is more likely to come out and pre-practice for longer. And, you know, you get keyed in onto one deal right here, and, you know, you can win 500,000, or you just get keyed in, you're going to win 50,000. So, you know, especially a tournament that's this tough, and for, you know, this few boats, it's easy to do well in this tournament.
There gets a lot of competitors out of your way. If you get something going, you can run that kind of water.
Oh, for sure. For how tough it is, if you get keyed in on one thing, that's going to separate you from the other guys, or you know, get you out of that bottom third and get you in that top third. One little key, and all it's going to take is 2 bites a day. 2 bites a day doing something different, or having one little pattern that you're running is going to get you into that top 10 here.
Last time here, I think you finished 7th in that cup that we had here. Most of the cups you go to, you're not far off out of the top 10 anyway. But just, I know you like window fishing. You like little things that happen during the day, getting a little, and not attaching much to it. My question is this. Anything you learned in that last tournament being applied? I know you start getting memory upon memory, and you start thinking, well, I remember here, remember there. Hard to come into these things with a clean slate. I know you'd like a clean slate.
Yeah, I would, and it's hard not to go back to the way it went down that year, because, you know, you go for hours out here without getting a bite, and when you go that long without catching anything, you kind of start going back to what happened last time and try to run that stuff, and It's different. I mean, you get on the water right now and it just looks different. You know, the shoreline cover is completely different. It seemed to me like there's more fish up shallow that year than there are this year. I don't really know. I mean, this tournament might be one shallow, might be one out there in 30 feet. I don't really know, but it's not easy either route you go. I do know that.
Give us guess big bag of the tournament. What do you think will be a big stringer here this week, especially early in the game?
I mean, I can't see it being bigger than 15, 18 pounds for big stringer of the entire tournament. I could be totally wrong, but based on the last time we were here, I don't think we had anybody that weighed in a sack bigger than 15, 18 pounds that time of year, or that year. And I just don't see it this year. I just don't see. I haven't gotten a good feel. You know, we're still early on in the practice. I don't really know, but I just don't see any big, stringers happening. You know, I think that if we were launching an hour earlier, a couple guys could get a few key bites to get them going. You know, I heard a tournament was won a couple weeks ago. The guy that won had 18 pounds and he was culling at 7 o'clock, but caught 8 keepers all day. So if he caught a 6th one at 7 o'clock, that means he caught 2 the rest of the day, after we take off. So we take off at 7, and there's a full hour and a half of safe light where we could be catching those fish that are, slide up at night. These fish are feeding at night, and you can catch a few, whether it's shallow or deep. Those fish are feeding at night right now, and that first little bit of daylight is where you're gonna get a couple of those key bites, and without launching until 7 o'clock, we're gonna lose some of that key time.
One thing I can guarantee you about Brent Ehrler, he might not have much going on here the first day of practice. By the time this tournament starts, he'll have them dialed in. You can look for him in the top 10 here this week on Lake Murray.